the slow, seventh dimension. Faster than 5-0 search warrant. More powerful than a prosecutor on speed.
Alright, here we go.
2 hits from the bong and he's hiding in the DEA helicopter.
Everything's up. Alright, there we go. Facebook is up, Instagram, our camera, and YouTube is up. Alrighty. So here we are, y'all. We coming right back. Here is Monday night. Get on the Cannabus with NJWEEDMAN'S the host. And guess who today's guest is? Lady Boss. Lady Boss. Boss Lady. Boss Lady. My bad. Boss Lady number 1.
No, you're right. It's Lady Boss number 1.
Lady
that is me.
Boss
Absolutely.
1.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. That name is interesting how it came about, though.
Oh, yeah? Now, wait a minute. Let's just quickly. You're from the Baltimore area.
Yes, I'm a Baltimore girl.
And you run a podcast in the Baltimore area.
I do. Let's Talk. It's _ Let's Talk 13. If anybody wants to follow me, and we air every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1. And I have just all different types of guests. I
was a guest last week.
Absolutely. So it's all different types of guests. I've had people from doctors on there to people in politics. So it's just a wide range. I just like to get the conversation out there to the people and give the people what they want to hear.
Okay. So I take it you're a pothead, right? You smoke weed?
I don't actually. I don't smoke weed. That's what we were just talking about.
Didn't.
I don't smoke weed. I have just never. I'm not a smoker, period. So it's.
This is Biggie's. Sorry.
Edible, yes.
Not
Edible.
ashamed on weed, but
It's all good. It's all good.
Edibles, I've tried those before.
Oh, well, you're gonna have to give me some edibles. I'm gonna have to feed you some edibles.
Those I've tried, but no, I'm not a weed smoker. It's all good though, because I do hang around a lot of weed smokers. So that's the interesting part about it all. I do hang around a lot of weed smokers.
Well,
so.
I'm sorry. You're gonna be.
No, you can go ahead and.
You're hanging with one right now.
Right, you can go ahead and smoke up.
Rules.
It's all good. Do you? I'm good.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be sparking up in a couple seconds.
Yeah.
All right. So listen. Okay. So you do your podcast. Let's Talk.
Yeah.
In the Baltimore area, you have all kinds of guests and this, that, and the other. Well, let me just ask you, what was the most interesting topic you did in the last year?
The most interesting topic is actually 2. I had, like, my first show, I had a strip club owner on there.
A strip club owner?
Yes, local guy.
Oh, I'm sure he had some stories.
Yes, local guy. Shout out to Nate at Nut Lust. That's the strip club.
That's the name of the club?
That's the name of the strip club. Lust.
Nut Lust?
Lust.
Oh, just Lust. I thought you said Nut Lust. Like, what?
Nope, it's Lust. It's in Baltimore. It's actually on Baltimore Street. And that's the thing. I had him on there, and it was so interesting because he actually started as like a bar back to actually owning the club. So that's like it's a phenomenal story. So
is it a liquor serving club?
Absolutely,
too?
yeah. No, it's full fledged. So he started as a bar back, and then some things happened, and he was able to get himself in a position to where he could buy it, and then he bought it, and now he's the owner, and he's been the owner for all this time. So he was a good guest that I had on there. And this year I did an interview with KRS-One, and that was really good. Yeah, and it's so interesting because I was just like, let me ask you 3 questions. And if anybody know KRS-One, he gives a very good interview. Those 3 questions turned into like 40 minutes, and his manager was like, cut. I'm like, no, he keeps talking. Why are you telling me to cut, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I could get KRS-One. I need to think. I need
the teacher. I mean, he gave a really, really good interview. I mean, so yeah, those 2 just for the year.
Yeah, I was a teenager when his stuff came out.
Me too, and that's the thing. So just looking up to this
like
guy,
idol type stuff,
listening to the music and everything, and being able to actually interview him was just phenomenal. I mean, like I said, he did a really good interview. It was nice. I mean, show me love.
Talk about guys like that. You know who I bumped into one time? I had no idea. Like I didn't recognize him. We'll put it that way. I didn't recognize him at first. Big Daddy Kane.
Oh wow!
And let me tell you how that was. I was in L.A. I was in L.A. And somebody told me that MC Light was MCing at some club.
She does that a lot.
Yeah,
she does. Yeah.
I was like, what? So of course, again, that's my 20s, you know,
Absolutely.
that's the early 90s. I'm like,
Teens,
oh, what?
late 20s, yeah, absolutely.
I was like, what? I got there early because I knew, you know, the MCs and the DJs are setting up, so I got there early.
Right.
So was supposed to start till 9 o'clock. I showed up at like 7:30, like I'm gonna talk to her.
Right.
And I did. I came in and I sat down at the bar. It was a club. It was a big club that had a bar though in the dance floor. And I sat down at the bar and I just happened to sit next to this dude. And he even said something to the effect like, I can't remember what MC Light's real name is.
I cannot think of what her name is.
We're just gonna say for the Lorraine or something.
Yeah.
So he said something like that's Lorraine's seat. And I was just like, okay. I didn't know who Lorraine was.
Right.
I said, all right. I said, I'll sit over here. So I sit over there, right? But then me and him started talking. You know, we're going back and forth about nothing, talking. I'm having a drink, talking. She's over there. I can see her setting up. And I even said to him, like, oh, man, I was a young man. I loved her. I loved her voice.
I think everybody loved her.
Yeah.
Everybody loved MC Light.
So I was saying all these things to her. And then at some point, she came over and sat down. So I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, how are you? And I start talking to her, this, that, and the other. And then at some point, she's like, you don't know who that is? I was like, no.
No, right. Because
like,
you're just chatting it up with this guy.
Yeah. She's like, it's Big Daddy Kane. I was like, oh.
And then you got starstruck immediately once you realized it was him.
Yes. I mean, I've had a couple incidents like that, but that one there, I remember that one. And you know, the funny thing about that was, they were dating or something. And that's why, they were dating or something.
Knew?
And that was like, okay. And that's why they were there together. You know?
It all makes sense now. Why he was there, why he was holding her spot.
Yep.
And Yep.
And then I stayed the whole night. You know, now I got a seat when she would get off the stage.
Absolutely.
She came right back to the same spot.
Exactly.
So I'm like, oh, I'm hanging out with MC Light. You know, I don't care if her boyfriend, Big Daddy Kane, is sitting right there.
That's right. And they were in LA. And LA is always
LA.
a good vibe and everything. It's good. I mean, I remember one time, I used to go to the Essence Festival a lot years ago, and she was DJing at a party at the Essence Festival, and she was really down there. If we was able to get backstage and get up there, and she immediately, y'all want to take pictures? She was really laid back. So.
Yeah, she was. I had a great conversation with her that night. She actually, there was another club in LA that used to do these things on Sunday mornings. It was called the Do-Over.
Oh, wow.
And to be honest with you, this is something that it could probably work anywhere. So if anybody's listening, I know you're going to steal the idea. But it was called the Do-Over. And the idea was you go out on Friday and Saturday night and you just do it up. And then you wake up on Sunday morning and do it over again. So they had these clubs.
You would have to be a machine to be able to do it. All Friday and Saturday and do it again on Sunday.
But it was a club that opened at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my God.
And went until like 4 p.m. It was called the Do-Over.
And they served liquor?
They served liquor.
Oh, my God.
Well, anyway, she did that too one day, one Sunday, and I went to that. You know who else did it too? One day, Queen Latifah did it too.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get to talk to her though. It was like it was a mob.
Yeah, I would love to meet her.
That day she was there. It was 500 people showed up. Like MC Lights doing the and.
Well, people didn't know, but she's big in the DJ world. I mean, she's been doing that and hosting and voiceovers. I mean, she's really, really big into that stuff. I mean, you know, after rapping, she stayed behind the scenes doing a lot of different things. So, like I said, in New Orleans is when I ran a car, so and I was like, oh, she DJs. So, yeah. She definitely keeps stuff going. I mean, a lot of those people from back in that time and era definitely have transitioned to do other things. So, she's one of them. What are your folks saying?
I was just looking at these comments. Somebody said "Weed Man for president." I gotta second that motion.
You know what? What the United States showed the rest of the world when putting Donald Trump in office was that it is possible for anybody to be president. That is what they've showed. That's exactly what we showed the rest of the people in the world.
I'd probably be voicing too much of my opinions if I throw it out about Donald Trump. I have not liked Donald Trump, though, for 30 years. It's not like I just suddenly discovered it. I didn't like his Apprentice show. I didn't like his Fired show. Yeah. To me, he's a villain on those shows.
Totally. He's a bully.
Who wants
He's a bully.
Yes.
He's a bully.
Like, how do you get some type of enjoyment of firing somebody? Listen, I've been an owner of a couple businesses, and you know that's the hardest part of the job.
Yeah,
firing
absolutely.
somebody. There have been people I wanted to fire. They hung around for a few days, or a week or two, a month.
Even if they deserve it. I mean, even in my
Yeah.
position outside of this, right?
Right.
You know, it's an executive position, and even when I do have to sit people down and fire them, even if they deserve it, it's a little part of me that still has that humanity, like, how they gonna feed their kids and how they gonna take care of their family, but it has to be done. But this guy, it's like I think he got a 3/4 chubby when it came to freaking hire and fire people. This fucking guy was excited.
3/4 chubby.
I think he did.
Oh, I got used
totally.
that quote somewhere.
A 3/4 chubby.
Somewhere I would have
You
seen
probably
that.
heard of a 3/4 chubby.
I
haven't
never
you?
heard
This guy.
that before.
See?
You
That's
heard
my
that
guy.
one before?
That's where I got it from college, from guys like him. Yes.
I never heard that.
3/4
one before.
chubby. As I'm telling you,
That's gotta be an insult though, if you throw it right. You know, especially from a woman, right?
that you
What was
only
it?
was
Oh,
able
man.
to get a 3/4 chubby.
Or something to that effect.
Yeah, or
Like,
if
he's
you're getting
only
a 3/4 chubby because you're excited and you haven't gotten the full.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
He's like,
No,
yeah, of course I can.
actually, this is some weed man trivia. When I quit college, like a dummy, I went down to Atlantic City and got a job. I got a job. I ended up at the Sands Casino at room service. While I was working at the Sands Casino and room service, Donald Trump was building Trump Plaza.
Yeah.
And because I was working room service, I met Ivana Trump, his first wife.
The first wife. She was the most sensible wife, I think.
And she was nice.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was a contrast because they were like staying at the Sands Club. It was this big what do they call it? Penthouses.
Oh, okay.
In the Sands. They were called the Sands Club.
So they were staying on that whole top floor.
Yeah. And they were staying there while it was building, or at least they were there a lot while they were building it. And of course they were like, the Sands treated them like the greatest
royalty.
guest ever, right?
Absolutely.
So I was constantly in that room taking food away and everything. Anyway, I was in there so regularly that she knew me. Like I spoke to her all the time.
Yeah.
Right? And it was funny about her. She had like an issue with her security guards and stuff. She didn't like having security guards or something. She didn't talk to them, right? But she was very friendly to all the staff. Like she was
nice to you, yeah.
She was friendly to the housekeepers. When she walked around, she would stop and get something to eat, say at the cookie place or something, and she would talk to the staff. Right? Where Donald was the opposite.
Yeah, I could totally see that though.
Nobody.
Because you might have done this better. Like, you're the help. I'm not going to speak to you. I think I totally see that.
And eventually, because I had met her, I got a job at Trump Plaza when it opened. Mm-hmm. And I worked in her restaurant, Ivana's. And how that came about was they had a magazine. It used to be a magazine. I think it went out of business. Called the Atlantic City Magazine. And the Atlantic City Magazine in 1985 or 84, right there, I forget what year that was, wrote this big piece about Ivana Trump opening his restaurant called Ivana's inside of Trump Plaza, and it was going to be the 5-star restaurant of Atlantic City. It was going to be the best restaurant on the East Coast, maybe like in the world.
Wow.
And it talked about how she was bringing all these famous waiters and maitre d's and stuff to the restaurant. She was buying them from wherever famous restaurant they were from.
Yeah.
And she was bringing them there. She got Paul Edgar, who was a famous maitre d'. He ran Windows of the World, which was on top of the World Trade Center. She got him.
Wow.
And this was
She's
the article
pulling out all the stops.
Yeah. She got this guy named Grenville. I can't remember his last name, but his name was Grenville. A black guy from like this super expensive Caribbean restaurant. She got him to come there. She bought some of them houses.
I could see that because if they're coming from different countries and stuff like that, like
so
they gotta come being able to live somewhere and all of that. So she wanted to remove all of that, all those issues.
And she put these portraits all over the wall that they were like fucking art, hundreds of thousands of dollars. The plates that were in the restaurant had real gold trim, and at the end of the night, listen, I've worked in the back of restaurants before. Plates get broke, plates get this, that, and the other. Not in that restaurant. They treat them plates. Each plate was like $400, or I can't remember the number. But and in order to run a restaurant, you need hundreds of them.
But I could see them doing that though, because if she was trying to set the tone for it being the end all be all of restaurants, I could totally see that.
It was.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
The whole building was the gaudiest of all gaudy buildings, to be honest with you. They put everything. It was all kinds of cool stuff. At the Trump Plaza, when it opened, it was the finest hotel.
Did you ever try that restaurant? Did you ever eat there?
Yeah.
And so how was the food, though?
The food was great. They had all the famous cooks came there, too. And
so
then
everything.
I waited on Donald Trump. I was a busboy. When I came from the Trump Plaza, and I came over there, and the reason why, like I said, I saw the Atlantic City magazine, and I spoke to Mrs. Trump about it. Like, hey, I read the Atlantic City magazine.
Yeah.
That's a great restaurant. And she was bragging. She was like, she was proud of the things she was putting together. So she spoke, and, I read a lot, so I remember the details. And at the time, I said, like, that's cool. You're getting all these waiters from all over the place. Like, and they had little write-ups about all of them. Like, I bet you I could probably find that article somewhere online from 1985. But it talked about it. So I spoke to her about that. And then I took a chance on getting fired from my job by asking her, like, I said it in a funny way. I don't remember how I said it, but it was something to the effect like, wow, man, I wish I could work at a place like that. Or, man, I would never be able to work at a place like that. Or something I said like that.
But you said it so blasé to where it wasn't.
I wasn't really asking for a job, but I was hoping she would bite on the beat.
Yeah.
And she did. And she gave me Paul Egger. That's why I remember his name. She gave me Paul Egger's phone number and told me to call Paul Egger. The next day, I was calling Trump Plaza. I was trying to get Paul Egger. I remember it took me a long time to actually get him on the phone. I finally got him on the phone. He was like, what are you calling me for? I was like, Miss Trump told me to call you.
Exactly.
You know, and like
the boss told me to call you.
Yeah, told me to call you. I was asking for a job. He was like, well, what do you do? And I told him I was a room service waiter at Trump at the Sands. He was like, what? Because now here's a guy who's all in the gourmet.
Right, he's so the top-notch guy. She's just giving you his number randomly. Like, call this guy. He's like, don't call me.
And he was like, have you worked in a gourmet room before? I was like, no. Have you done this before? I was like, no. Like, almost everything he asked me, I said no. But the only thing was I got his number from Mrs. Trump.
So he had to give you a job. He had to do something.
What he did was, like, 2 days later, he told me to come in on Monday, this, that, and the other, for an interview or something to that effect. And I came in, and this is what, you gotta remember, I'm 20, 21, I can't remember how old I was.
So you was hot shot, ballsy, cocky.
Listen, this was at this point in my life, I'm gonna tell you, I had a couple stupid things, like maybe I almost got hit by a car or a truck once or twice as a kid on a bike, right? So those were scary. But then the next scary thing happened to me as a young man, and you have to remember, times have changed. I'm 21. Paul Egger was a 6'7" gay guy.
Oh,
right?
wow.
And when I walked in the room, he didn't hide the fact that, I was like, oh
my God.
I was terrified of this dude.
So when he said,
he hired me.
That?
But he hired me. He was so like, and I was like, oh.
He was like, and, you're lean and mean.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I see why Mrs. Trump took the call. And I was like, no, dude.
Is that what you said?
No, I was scared. I was a kid. I was just like, no, I don't know why she's like, I wanted a job.
So he basically was saying Miss Trump was looking you up and down.
I don't think she was. No, it just was like I asked for a job and like she gave me the job. Like I ain't saying nothing else. But it was a terrifying moment to me when I met the boss. Like, oh, and he like said little creepy things to me. And I was a kid. Like, at that time, I was 21. Life was different, man.
It was.
So some gay dude, like, you would punch him or run for the hills.
And so, how did that job end up? Because
the job was cool, to be honest with you.
Did you have to interact with him anymore, though?
No, he was cool. He actually never, like, he would say little things, but he said it to everybody. He said it to all the guys. He walked around, like some dude would walk in the fucking
Y'all was
door.
Young tenderonies. He was like, I'm having my pick up the litter.
It was my introduction to, like, paparazzi shit. Look, I waited.
Oh, yeah, because he was a big deal. So people probably always wanted to take pictures of him, too.
City. No, but I'm talking about this was the best restaurant in Atlantic City. He was the maitre d', and he knew all these New York people, so all these people were coming. But that's not the point. Everybody came there. I met Mike Tyson when he was with Customato. So I met Customato. He was
Mike
21.
Tyson then?
He was a kid. He was a little boy.
Yeah, but he probably was really pulled together and really...
he didn't talk.
See?
He didn't talk.
When he started talking is when he got himself in trouble anyway.
He was all quiet. And there was 2 or 3 white guys near him. Customato was one. And they were acknowledged that they were his keepers, and
Yeah.
and they promoted him as like a beast in the ring, and that's what he was. But he was a kid when he was standing
So he was
there.
very subdued
He was
when
very
you met
quiet.
him. Yeah.
That's all I saw, and he ate his food. He was nice. He was customary. Boom. But I saw Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard.
How was he?
Sugar Ray Leonard was an asshole.
I've heard-
He was
yeah,
the
but you
first
know what,
asshole
because
I ever fucking met as a celebrity. He was
People
the
have
first
said
one.
that, but it's always split reviews on him because when I lived in Georgia, he used to frequent a lot of the places there, and it was either one extreme to the next. Like, people would say he was very nice and very,
Nice.
easy to get along with, or people would say he was like a tyrant, and he was so full of himself.
He acted like that to me twice.
What did he
came there a
do?
couple
What was the
times.
story with that?
He was there. He was at the restaurant with, what was his name? Willie Moscone. Willie
Who is Willie
Moscone
Moscone?
was this fat guy pool shark.
Ah,
Right,
pool shark.
he was on TV and everything in the 80s. Like, he was a pool shark, and he was an old. And for where I don't know how they ended up together, but I was at Ivana's working that night. Sugar Ray Leonard came in with Willie Moscone, and they're whatever. I think I was a busboy then, so I was grabbing the water. I'm this, that. I'm taking the thing. I'm having small talk, whatever. And they needed something. I ran and got it. Right. So Sugar Ray Leonard asked me to go get something, and I was just telling you, Ivana's place had all the fanciest everything. Our uniforms were fancy.
So you guys
right?
looked really good, pulled together.
Yeah. So he asked for one of the shirts.
Oh, he wanted one.
He wanted one of our shirts. Our employee
wow.
shirts. That's how nice they were. He wanted one. So I went downstairs to the wardrobe or whatever. And I
Oh, so y'all kept y'all uniforms there at work, and they got
allowed
it
to take
clean.
them home. They had all this fancy shit on our clothes. I'm telling you, that place was so gaudy.
This is a big deal.
Yeah. So, but he asked for one. So I went downstairs and faked and acted like I just spilled something on mine. I need one right now. They hurried up. I had to sign for it. Bam. I run up. I give it to him. Now to me, I'm like, man, I just signed for a couple $100 shirt.
Right.
That if I lose it or don't come back, and obviously giving away is not coming back, that I'm going to have to pay for it, right? Something like that I was thinking to myself. So I thought this was one of the chances that I'm going to go out of my, you don't ask for autographs and stuff like that.
Because you're putting your job on the line at this
Right,
point.
so I asked for an autograph. Yo, he leans me over, really touched me and pulled me over.
Really?
And, yelled at me and told me don't ever.
But this guy's asking you for a shirt.
That's what I'm saying.
From your job.
Yep. And that's how he said. He's
my
like,
goodness.
don't ever, blah, 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 ask me for nothing. Something like that he said. I was saying to myself, this was my idol talking to me like this. Like, I was torn.
Yeah, you
21,
were,
22.
Yeah, you were definitely torn at this
I'm only
point.
5 years younger than him, something like that. He was like the winner of the 1976 Olympic Games.
Yeah.
Like, I watched that. Like, Sugar Ray Leonard was the man. He just beat Tommy Hearns. He just beat Roberto
Yes.
Duran. He already had the No Mas fight. So he was a superstar celebrity to me. And then he just acted like that. He ain't the only one that acted like that, too. Bill Cosby did it, too.
Bill Cosby got you?
Bill Cosby
Now, what
did
did
me,
Bill Cosby do to you?
Bill Cosby, you know where Bill Cosby's from, right?
No.
He's from North Philly.
Okay.
He's from North Philly. Bill Cosby's from North Philly.
Okay.
So...
And this is when, if you're
this is
talking the same time, right? This is his heyday. He was the man. He was Hollywood.
It wasn't quite Huxtable yet. Huxtable
Oh,
started
that,
right there. He wasn't
that hadn't
Dr.
happened
Huxtable
yet.
That hadn't
But
happened.
he
But
had.
he was still everything.
Yeah.
He was on all the stupid shows. The
Commercials.
He was the Jello pudding
Fat
man.
Albert. All
Fat
that would have.
Albert.
All that would have been
I grew up
relevant
when
at
he
that
was
time.
I Spy.
And commercials was like hand over fist. Every
Yeah.
week it seemed like he was doing a different Jello pudding Bob commercial with something new.
So that's what he was then, but I knew his history. He was a guy from North Philly. Went to Temple, got famous, and this, that, and the other. But he was from North Philly, right? So. He's at this table. It's not my table, remind me. I'm in a room.
Yeah.
And everybody's assigned tables. I was walking by, and he did it too. He said, young man, and he had an attitude, probably at the other waiter.
Yeah.
But he had an attitude, and he says to me, can you get me some Perrier water?
Oh.
He specifically said Perrier.
Perrier water. Okay.
Right. No problem. I walk into the side area. And there's no Perrier water there.
Oh, goodness.
I look one or two other
I can tell this is going to go bad.
And there's no Perrier water. I just grab a bottle of water.
Oh, my goodness.
Other sparkling water or whatever. It was something in the same class, but wasn't the same brand. And boom. I start pouring it, and you're doing it all fancy, like
You got it over your arm, and
exactly.
the cloth there, so if you smell something, you quickly wipe it up.
I'm serving Bill Cosby.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm at Bill Cosby. You know,
I'm in the
that's how I'm
presence.
feeling. Right, because I've seen a lot of celebrities, and sometimes I wasn't on the table where the celebrity was, so I never got to speak to him. Right. This time, I would have loved to speak to Bill Cosby, and he stopped me, and he asked me to do something. So now, I'm there being friendly as a kid.
Exactly. You're taking your moment.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. I could have said, oh...
Let me find your waiter. Right, let me find your waiter.
But,
right.
oh, no, I'm going to serve Bill Cosby.
I think I would have done the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then he goes, young man, can't you read?
Oh, goodness. No.
And I was like, he's like, I said Perrier water.
Oh, no.
And I'm going, yeah, you're right. Oh, and I tried to grab it and walk away. And he starts having a little Negro fit.
Really?
Yeah, he got really upset that I brought him this water. He asked for that water. Now, of course, I'm being nice. It's my job. I'm shocked that Bill Cosby...
Because you actually didn't have the Perrier water, but you was trying to substitute to give him
station.
something. Yeah.
Like, whatever. Yo, you know, I wanted to yell, though. Like, I really felt like going, Negro, you're from North Philly! You're drinking North Philly water!
You was drinking toilet water out of that hood house. There you wanted Perrier
about
water.
Some Perrier water. Now, I can understand I made a mistake. I did make a mistake. But he flipped out on me. Anyway, I go about my business. A couple minutes later, the team that was on that table was so mad at me.
I bet they were.
He wouldn't sign the check or the tip.
Oh, he's
and
one of
those?
those?
He had a big order. Right?
Of course
so
he did.
Did
he have an entourage with him
yes,
today? Oh, God.
Like, so he flipped out. He had like all of his kids with him.
Okay.
He had all of his kids with him and it was other people, because at the time, he was at Trump Plaza for a month. And he came down and ate at our restaurant 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay.
So he's there. I hadn't had the occasion to wait on him, so that's what I'm saying. I took the opportunity since he asked me, because it was our lead team. Always did him.
Exactly.
I wasn't on that lead team.
And he probably had some stuff going on with Trump. Hey, come stay in, I think, because they're businessmen. Let's be really clear.
But there was a lot of celebrities that did that. All the celebrities that were booked at the Trump Plaza for a week. I mean, Robin Williams. I can name all. I can name so many of them. Yeah. Like it's unbelievable.
And that was all business with Trump. It was definitely calm.
Yes.
You know, we'll put it all in the house. We'll be able to say that you've dined here, because that's going to want to bring the regular folks to actually see what celebrities maybe they can bump into. You know, a lot of...
That's exactly what happened.
People do that now, but back then that was really, really a big deal, because you didn't have social media. So the only way to really get your business out there and brand it was to, if you had some celebrity friends that'll
Trump
come
was
in
like
there.
that.
Oh, totally.
I watched him all the time. He would come in the restaurant all the time. He would sit there with celebrities. I remember Lee Iacocca. He was the head of Chrysler.
Yeah, I remember.
Right?
I know that name. Yeah,
and I remember, like, they were sitting there chummy, all buddy. I mean, I just, like, there was so many, like, super celebrity people that would sit there. Herschel Walker was always with him.
Wow.
The Hovmanian brothers. If you're from the East Coast, East Coast, all these Hovmanian houses, like they're developers, big developers, and they develop. And
so he had that team. Well, you know, because he's done a lot of real estate in New York and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure they crossed paths.
There was a guy who used to come there. His name was Mr. Chili. That's what they called him.
Was he from Chile?
No, he was like a super big mobster from New York.
Oh wow!
And that was a whole interesting crowd. Scarfo would come here.
Well, he probably had just a mix of people, because naturally people that had money, those are people that wanted. He wanted to be at the restaurant.
That's what I'm saying. That was like my best job ever. And like now I had quit college. My parents were mad at me. I got me a little bullshit job at the Sands, which was good money, but that wasn't enough to quit your college. Right. And then I was going to switch schools and go to Rutgers, or try to get in Rutgers. At the time, I got into Glassboro. I was trying to get in Rutgers, right? And I ended up with this job. And now, I was making $3,000 to $1,000 a night in tips.
Well, because it was so many high end. Yeah. It was so high end.
There were times when there was more than $1,000, and I was the busboy most of that time. I worked there. Yeah. And there was times when I made, $2,000 because somebody left a $5,000 tip, and it was 3 of us to split it. I got the smaller share, but I would get it. Yeah. And
but that wasn't bad.
Liza Minnelli. I can name some of the people that really did like.
How was Liza Minnelli?
Liza Minnelli was hated by most of the staff.
Well, they said that she was a
But
real
not me.
witch on the broom.
She was, but she was nice to me. There's another one. I can name a couple of them that treated me very nice, and I was just the friendly little black kid that worked in the restaurant.
Were you the only black kid in there?
I was the only black kid in there.
Oh, that explains a little bit more.
No, actually, I wasn't. There was there was a guy named Kenny. Me and him were friends. His name was Spike. Kenny Davis from Ocean City. Him too. But they treated us both like he got these same stories. I'm sure, like,
wow.
People would.
So they treated you and Kenny nice.
Yes. Listen, and we also got this. This would happen to us all the time too. Yo,
bro.
Can you go get me something? They didn't say that.
Something like what? Like weed or
Coke.
something? Oh
no,
God.
It was the heyday of Coke.
Oh,
season.
so Coke was heavy back then. Yeah, you talking about the
and
80s. So Coke and. Yeah, well, marijuana was still, but Coke definitely was the it drug for those type of folks.
Right, and I can remember being at my job and going to sneak and smoking a joint and coming back in.
Did you go get them the Coke though when they were asking you though? You never said that if you wouldn't got them the Coke.
Listen, I didn't want to go back to college. I had a great job. I had this side business as a kid. Like me working at Trump Plaza. Yes, that's anybody who knew me then knew that I was doing this other stuff too.
So you would go ahead and get them what they wanted.
Yes. But then
that's why they loved you. Man, that's exactly. See, now we're getting to the meat and the potatoes of this. See, I'm interviewing you too. We got to get to the bottom line.
There were sports stars.
Yeah. Everybody fashionably used Coke back then.
Yes.
Everybody fashionably used it.
I don't want to name this particular NBA ball player, but there's a particular NBA ball player that now, at my age now, looking back at what happened, I shouldn't have participated in that.
Really?
Yes.
And why? Because if he wouldn't have got it from you, he would have got it from somebody else. You do realize that.
And he went on a binge. And bam, I became his guy for like a week.
So you became his drug dealer. You was his drug dealer.
He paid me to go get it from somebody else.
Wow.
And of course I put
But you had to charge him a finder's fee. He had to put a finder's fee.
He totally knew it. No, he totally knew it.
Absolutely. You had to put a finder's fee on it. You just can't go get it, take all the risk, and not have a finder's fee.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
He would hand me $500.
That's hustling backwards if you did that.
And say, go get an 8-ball.
And you go get him a whole 8-ball?
But I'm saying... He gave me $1,000.
Okay, so you don't have to tell us the name, but I'm good with basketball. So okay, was he a Hall of Famer?
He was a 76er, but I'm going to leave it at that.
Was he a Hall of Famer though?
Leave it at that. No, I'm not going to say. I'm leaving it at that.
I'm going to say it. I'm just going to
guess. 76er, and it was just more than me. It was like one or two other of my coworkers too, for like a week or
that
so.
Would get him what?
Almost 2 weeks.
Did he have girls coming up there like prostitutes too?
He did everything.
So he had the prostitutes, he had the coke.
He hung out. There were cocktail waitresses that worked.
He would bang them too.
I don't know what he did behind the closed door.
This guy's getting.
But he.
Okay.
But for like but that would happen. I'm saying just working at a place.
Well, this
like
off season or during the season?
No, it was during the season because it was a big thing that he disappeared.
Okay.
Yeah, if we Google certain things.
That's why I'm asking all these questions.
Right, a lot of speculation in the comments.
Yes. And what are they saying? Whose name are they saying?
They haven't dropped a name yet.
Because you know why?
These are the people saying this. It's not us.
Don't remember 80s or aren't that age to remember 80s.
But if you love basketball, you can find this stuff out though.
But I'm just saying that's one of the stories that happened. Like that happened with just rich people too. Yeah. Hey, bro, why don't you come hang out with us tomorrow? We're going to the golf course. Like I gotta work tomorrow. And man, they would talk to Paul Edgar. I had a day off.
I wonder where Paul Edgar is now. Do you know
what
where he is now?
Told me, and I don't know. One day I actually looked and listed and looked up it.
And where was he at?
They said, and I don't know if it's true.
Right, this is allegedly.
They said that after he left Trump Plaza in the mid 90s, that he ended up back in New York, and he was at Windows of the World, the restaurant at World Trade Center, and he actually died there.
Oh no!
But I looked up his name. I couldn't find that.
You couldn't find anything?
I couldn't find that he
passed.
died at 9. I couldn't find that. And I thought that was just some internet bullshit somebody told me.
Yeah.
And I never followed up on it. But no, Paul Edgar was the famous guy, and I could probably find it. Edgar with 2 G's.
Wow.
But
okay, so back to the 76er that was doing coke
I'm not gonna go back there.
And messing with prostitutes.
I'm moving on to another story.
We want to get to the bottom of who that was.
No, but I had a great time working at Trump Plaza.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it.
I actually, the only job that when I left, I was fired too, but not by Trump. But when I left,
you got fired from the establishment.
I cried.
Well, look, yeah, you were making good money. You were the good tips, and then you were being the drug dealer for the people. So you were definitely
I was
getting on both ends, buddy.
I was doing very well. I was able to almost justify it to my parents why I wasn't going back to school when I'm making $3,000, $5,000 a week at work or
just
whatever.
Showing up at work.
And it was, and most of it was tips, but then there was all this other stuff that was going on.
You keep saying most of it was tips, but you were getting coke for people.
Yes, that's. But as a work, and I didn't even engage that much, right? But yes, but that was the mid '80s. That's what was going on. It was before crack.
Well, yeah.
Everybody was doing powder.
Because crack was like 90s,
crack was
right?
just starting. They were freebasing. Like Richard Pryor had just burned himself up.
Okay.
Like, it was freebasing then.
Okay.
But they weren't. It didn't like the whole crack scene didn't like actually hit yet.
Was acid a thing back then? Acid
among
and
certain
shrooms?
crowds.
Yeah.
Among certain crowds.
Yeah, yeah.
They were still doing Quaaludes and stuff like that too.
Oh yeah.
Yellow Jackets.
Oh wow.
I remember all these things. I didn't do none of those things. I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I always just been a weed head. I smoke weed.
Yeah.
You know, at that age, I experiment. But anything makes me go fast. I never wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fast.
You want to be slow rolling. Yeah. You don't want to hit the day like this. Yeah. You want to ease into the day.
I remember somebody talked me into, cause I did it twice. Somebody talked me into taking a sniff
of coke,
of meth.
Of meth.
But they called it crank then.
Okay.
It was in the 80s, and I never ever wanted to do it again.
How did it make you feel?
I stayed awake for like 3 days. And I was sleepy as hell, but I couldn't go to sleep.
Okay, so you were up, but you couldn't sleep.
I couldn't sleep.
Oh my God, I couldn't imagine that.
I didn't feel good. I totally did oh no, I'll never do this again.
But then you did it again.
No, the next time I did it, because I told that story, and I was a truck driver, and I partied somewhere in California too long. I had a week to get my load all the way across the country, but then I started bullshitting with somebody, and 4 days into it, I go, oh shit.
And you only got 3 fucking days left.
I gotta be in New York in 2 days.
You only got 3 fucking days left, and you're still dicking around.
So somebody talked me into it. I don't remember how it happened, but anyway, it ended up in my coffee. So it
ended up in your coffee.
So the whole, and I thought it'd be better if I just took a little sip and drink it, and I drove all the way across the country without sleeping.
So you weren't even halfway to California when you started partying.
Oh no! You know what? I was a truck driver. I owned my own truck. There was a lot of times.
But were you halfway to California? You know, at least.
I dropped off. I was in Sacramento.
Oh my goodness!
And I dropped off my load in San Francisco. I picked up another load in Sacramento, and then I went to this truck stop. And then from there, I met somebody, and I started hanging out. I had a week to go. But that truck drivers have all these type of stories. I could never find that house if I ever tried. But for 4 days, I partied the fuck out of that house. I had a ball. And then, like I said, boom, somebody, like, that was there, and I knew about it. And I was like, nah, I'll never do that again. Nah, I ain't doing that.
And then somehow another ended up in your coffee.
Man, you should just put it in your coffee. Just put a little tiny bit in your coffee. And man, it'll work. Blah, 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 blah. You just stay up. You won't get you won't get nervous. All this bullshit they said to me.
Did you stay up?
I stayed all the way up. I drove all the way across the country, and I got to Ohio.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to take a nap.
Okay.
And I slept for like 20 hours.
Oh, my God.
When I woke up, I was like a half a day late. When I woke up, and I was in Ohio. And I'll never forget that. And that was probably one of the only times I really just like fucked up in the truck. And
so
that's
that
what
had
happened.
You really fucked up.
Yeah, so again, stuff that makes me go fast, man, I don't do none of that stuff.
Wow.
I just smoke weed. And that story is from like 1991 or something like that, 92.
Yeah, they're more elevated now. They got all types of shit popping off now.
Yeah, I don't do nothing but weed. An occasional mushroom and beer.
Occasional mushroom. How do you sneak? Okay, so what's the deal with the occasional mushroom?
All right. Last year on New Year's, for a day or two, I did mushrooms around New Year's last year.
Uh-huh.
And in July, I did some mushrooms.
And how did that kept you in your slow-mo?
No, I like doing them. I don't overdo them, though. It's like, I just like taking a little bit, just microdose. I actually like doing it, but I don't want to do it every week. I don't want to do it. It's like a once in a while thing. And it makes it like...
Is it hard to recover? Is that
no.
Oh, you can recover.
You feel like you got refreshed.
Oh, wow.
That's how it does to me. I feel refreshed afterwards.
He's like, yeah.
That's another reason why I don't want to do it every week. Who wants to feel refreshed every week?
Well, it depends on how hard you party out of the weekend. If you party real hard out of the weekend, you might need to feel refreshed. I don't know. You might need that refreshing. And speaking of it now, if these supposedly get 15 inches, you know, folks probably want to come see you because if we actually get the 15 inches and it gets snowed in, yeah. Especially if you have a significant other or somebody that's there, you might stop disliking this person.
I'll read the comments. No, it was not Charles Barkley. Listen, Charles Barkley.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's why I kept saying, was he a Hall of Famer?
He was not on the 76ers yet.
It wasn't him.
It was not on the 76ers.
Who do you think it is?
I know who it is.
What do you think? He's not saying it. Who do you think it is?
I'm not saying
Mouth the person to me.
No.
I'll say it.
Listen, you have to be a sports fan and a 76er fan to probably maybe think about. But you know what? I'm not even saying I'm not out no like that. Listen, their stories probably was out there, but maybe I just happened to be that guy who was hanging with that weekend, or one of the guys who was hanging with.
He had a club in New Jersey.
Ah.
No, it was not Rick Mahorn.
Was it?
He wasn't there yet either.
That's right.
Mahorn wasn't in the Sixer until the 90s.
I thought it was Charles Barkley too. That's why
No,
I said,
Charles Barkley
was he a Hall of Famer? And I'm trying to go through my head to like.
Charles Barkley came to the 76ers in 1988. Yo, you want to hear something crazy? I got Charles Barkley's story too. I met Charles Barkley once or twice too. But you know what I did one time?
What?
No, I did for more than one time. Listen, you see all this hair?
Yeah.
You know what I did one time? You wouldn't believe what I did. You're going to laugh. But I still say I was a kid. This was in the 90s.
Okay.
I cut all my hair off. It was totally bald.
So you had a bald head.
Bald head. Put on a 76er shit. And actually tried to act like I was somehow related to Charles Barkley. I went stalking Charles Barkley. I actually met him when I was stalking him.
How did that work out for you?
It was just funny.
What did he say?
I mean, I didn't act like I was a stalker, but I mean, I knew he lived in, where did he live there? He lived at Kings Grant, a big housing development with these big ass houses in
So you got onto the property?
No. There was a movie theater, the Marlton 8,
Mm-hmm.
and he would go watch the movies on a regular basis there.
Oh, so you figured you could bump
somebody
into
told
him.
me
Yeah.
that he would go there on a regular basis, like every Friday, every Thursday, or whatever day it was, right? So yeah, on purpose, I set myself up and sat there and waited for him to come.
And how was the interaction with him?
He was cool.
Was he nice?
No, he was cool.
Yeah.
He was cool. He was like meeting a regular dude. He was cool. And he didn't look as big in person as he's listed. I think he was listed at the time at 6'6". But I was like, man, this dude is like 6'3".
Oh, my goodness.
Like, I remember thinking that.
Well, you know, men lie about inches all the time.
I don't know nothing about that one.
All the men turn around. I'm just saying, you know? You know, 6'1", 6'3", 6 foot, it's whatever.
You know, wait, let me tell you something. What, in the Baltimore area, who else is a celebrity in the Baltimore area?
As far as what?
Like, I'm just trying to think of who in the Baltimore area.
Well, Monique is from Baltimore.
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Monique is from Baltimore.
Is Forrest Whitaker from Baltimore?
Forrest Whitaker, I don't know about that.
really think
Carmelo Anthony is from Baltimore. You got Drew Hill is from Baltimore. You got. Now you're making me like really think here, but Monique would probably be the biggest star from. You know, Oprah spent some time in Baltimore, so yeah. Yeah, she's not from there, but she spent some time in Baltimore. Yeah.
I actually like going to Baltimore too.
Me too.
Yo, downtown Baltimore is nice.
What do you like about it?
I like doing the Captain Krabby's or
Captain James. It's like it's like a boat.
Yeah.
Captain James. Yeah.
I like doing that.
So you like seafood?
Harbor area. Yes, I like seafood.
Yeah, totally.
And whenever I've done the harbor area, I go there. So I've been there more than once.
Yeah.
I've done the aquarium a couple times. And just that whole area, you can walk around there and just like kind of party too.
Yeah, it's all Fells Point.
I don't remember the name.
All the bars.
Yeah,
it's just nothing but bars and restaurants. Yeah, that's Fells Point.
Eat here and all that.
Yeah, you can walk.
Yeah, I've done that before too.
Yeah.
So Baltimore's a nice destination place to go hang out. And a lot of cool people, even though I know there's a lot of shit happened. Yeah, what do you think about that movie, the show?
Which one? The Wire?
The Wire.
It's interesting because with Wire,
it accurate?
It was very accurate.
It's
totally accurate. Yeah, and a lot of the stories and stuff that they had out of there were real court cases that were actually happening. I mean, they changed some of the names, just probably so that they don't have to pay the people for their stories, but so they changed some of the names and some of the narratives. Right. But no, I mean, it's really spot on to kind of what actually happens. I mean, just like in any city, I suppose those certain type of things happen in the hood. I mean, just like The Corner. The Corner was another big show that was based out of things that happened in Baltimore. So yeah.
The Wire.
Yeah, The Wire was definitely my favorite one.
I made a good effort to at one point to reach the producers of that show.
Of The Wire.
Yeah, I can't remember their names. But because they talked about jury nullification a lot, and that's part of what I talk about. So I was really trying to reach out to them about that. And I never was successful though, not with that.
They never got back with you.
They never got back with me.
Where are y'all now?
Want to hear something else though? Another little quirky story connected to The Wire, connected to Baltimore.
What?
Now I can't remember his name, but he played in The Wire. He was one of the guys in The Wire. His role was in The Wire, and when I was in Hollywood one night, hanging out with these.
You talking about Wood Harris or either Idris Elba?
Not Elba. It was a skinny guy.
Yeah, the guy that played Avon Barksdale?
Yes.
Yeah, that's his name is, I thought, Wood.
Yes.
What is his name? Wood Harris, I thought.
No, I ended up hanging out with him.
Look, they're Googling it. That's his...
I ended up hanging out with him.
Because his brother's also in showbiz. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes. Man, what is that guy's name?
Yeah, he was Avon Barksdale in there. Avon Barksdale in Wire. Mm-hmm. But he's played in so much after that. Like, he's done so many other things. He was in Above the Rim. He was in...
Yeah.
What's his name?
That's him. That's what I'm talking about. I was hanging out with this Hollywood guy who was always trying to sign people up to deals and stuff. I can't remember what his title was. But anyway, one night he invited me to go to the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, wow.
And I was like... Hell yeah!
Look, I'm excited. I would have went there.
Yeah, I was like,
just to see what goes on in there.
So, I got dressed. He told me where to meet him at, where to get in that limo at. When I went to get in the limo, guess who else was in the limo?
Who?
Ron Jeremy.
Oh my God, he's a slimy dirtbag. I would have been to meet him.
No, but it was
just like a walking heartbeat that I don't like.
Funny.
Like,
he's a funny guy, right?
Yeah.
So I go to get in the limo. And it's Ron Jeremy and the guy that owned the Bunny Ranch or whatever that. And he died.
The Bunny Ranch in Nevada.
Yes.
What is the name of that guy?
Don.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
That guy that owned it. Yeah.
Don Juan the pimp.
Oh God.
And
did he have the cup?
Yeah, no.
And the cane?
Oh
my God. Yeah, that's...
It was somebody else.
You were with a real interesting crew.
Yes.
I don't think I like the majority of that crew.
It's online. Yeah. I can Google it. You can look at
it. I just feel like with that crew, I would get a venereal disease just looking at that crew. Ron Jeremy, you got the guy from the Bunny Ranch. You just got all these
And that guy, the guy from The Wire. That's what made me think about it.
What, did you ever find out what his...
Wood Harris?
Wood Harris. That's what I said. I thought that was his name.
One with Marlo Stanfield. That's Jamie Hector.
Yeah, so no, it's Wood Harris. Wood Harris is Avon Barksdale. So
but there's a picture or two of me and him together. I can find it online.
Yeah, you're talking about Wood Harris.
We're at the.
So you're talking about scroll up because I don't see him there.
Yeah, this isn't him.
Wood Harris, right?
Yeah, it's Wood Harris. It would have to be.
Where's he at?
I don't see him. Go down.
Just scroll up.
There he is, right there. No, there he is. He had the hat on with the glasses, right there.
Yeah.
That's him. Wood Harris. Yeah.
That's him. Yes, that is him.
Yeah, he played Avon Barksdale.
Okay,
yeah.
So it was all 4 of us, 5 of us.
What was he doing hanging with those slime balls?
I don't know. Because that guy, the common denominator was this guy, right? I could probably find
the guy that you met.
Yes, the guy
that was telling everybody to come party.
He wanted to try to do this reality show out of my shop. He wanted to call it Pot Shop.
Oh, wow.
He made a trailer and all this, and he was shopping around Hollywood, and one day he called me to hang out with him. I was like, hell yeah.
I would have hung out with him. I just feel that group was a little wild.
Yeah, and I ended up at the
Playboy Mansion.
Playboy Mansion. And the Playboy Mansion is right smack
Did you meet Hugh Hefner?
I mean, you see him. He's got 10 girls on, and he sits there like King Tut, like that. Of course. And he does it like a tourist attraction. He was the attraction. You kind of like line up to say hi to you. Like I didn't want to. I didn't walk up to do it. I saw what he was doing.
What I didn't realize is that a lot of people thought that he really owned all the rights to Playboy, and he owned all the rights to that. But then, as that show unveiled, he didn't. He didn't own all of those rights, and I just thought you always correlate Playboy with Hugh Hefner.
He was the original publisher,
right?
Or
and then
like that.
They, you sell pieces off for money, and then by the time it was all said and done, he didn't even have ownership.
Well, he made a personality of himself, no matter what.
Oh, totally.
That's what he did.
The robes and.
Yeah.
And why did we think that was okay that he was banging 18-year-old girls and he was 50? He probably was 50 at that age when it first started.
I mean. But he had Playboy magazine at one point, so that's what you thought.
Yeah, but the magazine and banging 18-year-old girls are two totally different things, though.
I don't know.
Like he's their grandfather.
Somehow, Hugh Hefner became a beloved guy. Though.
I don't know how he came a household
reviled
name.
guy, but either way.
He was actually a household name, and it was horrible, though, now that I think about it.
Yeah, he endorsed political candidates.
He did.
He made appearances.
Well, he had money. So, just like Donald Trump, when you have, naturally, if you're trying to be the president or anything like that, you need their money.
Right.
And so he had the money to be able to support a candidate or support certain Congress people. So that makes sense. The business aspect of it makes sense to me, but
you know what?
The other part, he had these 18-year-old girls right in front of the whole American eye, and we never said anything.
He did.
But we got on Jeffrey Epstein, that show about the 18-year-old girls, but we allowed Hugh Hefner to run around banging 18-year-old girls, and nobody said anything.
He was a celebrity for it. He was a celebrity for it. And you know what? I didn't know this until I went there that night. That those girls that are all there, they're naked, and their uniforms and outfits were all painted on. That was the first time I ever realized it. They were all painted on.
So you couldn't see their nipples hard and everything?
You could, but you didn't realize it. It was just like a button on their uniform.
So you thought they had on clothes?
Listen.
No.
Here's what you do.
You guys think you would not be able to tell the clothes where if it's the skin?
I could find that on YouTube. Go on YouTube and type
I could be able to tell that it's skin.
At Playboy Mansion. Type it in. NJWEEDMAN at Playboy Mansion. If you Google it.
They say, were you on Maury? Somebody said, were you on Maury?
Wrong show. I was not on Maury.
Which one were you on?
I was on one of those shows in the mid-90s.
What show was it?
Oh.
Jerry Springer.
No, I didn't go with Jerry Springer.
Ricky Lake?
Right City. Wrong studio. They're right next to each other.
Well, I'm trying to think what shows.
I'm not going to tell you.
Put Jerry Springer, Maury.
Right now, I'm having a brain cramp. I can't think of her name either.
Steve Wilkos?
No, that was before Steve Wilkos.
Jenny Jones.
Jenny Jones.
What were you doing on Jenny Jones?
On Jenny Jones show. Stephanie, I know her. She's like a family friend, almost
Hi,
cousin.
Stephanie. But what were you doing on Jenny Jones?
You just told on me on Jenny Jones. No, now I have people Googling and find this episode of Jenny Jones.
So what were you doing on there? Tell us.
It's kind of embarrassing, but.
What? Somebody baby father? Something on there? What happened?
No. I don't even want to tell.
You broke up with this girl that didn't want to be broke
said
up with?
I saw you. I did. I went on.
So did you have 3 girlfriends or something? What were you only could be on there if it was drama?
Oh, it was. I don't even want to. I can't
I'm gonna
say
Google
that.
it now.
No, my 2020 self. Ain't my 1995 self.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So talk about the past.
Wait a minute. I remember when it aired. It aired on TV.
What were you on there for, though?
9th. If you really want to look for it, it aired on August 9th, 1995. It might have been 6, but 95 or 6. Mm-hmm. It was the same season that the dude killed the other guy on Jenny Jones.
Oh, when they brought him on here, he didn't know that he had a crush.
Yep.
Yeah, I do remember that.
He had, I had already filmed our segment, and then later he killed that guy.
Yeah, because you filmed a couple segments, and then they tell you when they're gonna air them. Yeah.
My segment, my show was in that last group of shows of hers that aired.
Yeah, because they canceled her after that, right? Yeah.
Yep.
That's a bad deal for her.
I was in that last group of shows, and it's embarrassing now, so I'm not trying to pull it up.
Okay.
But somebody might find it. I have never
Go
seen
back
nobody.
to the comments. Somebody's going to find it. Somebody
I've
needs
never
to
seen
find it so we
nobody-
can talk about it.
No, you said outing your wife? No, I
Oh,
wasn't.
my God.
No, I wasn't. That was not it.
Okay,
Listen,
so correct her then. What was it?
We were separated. Oh, here's a cousin chiming in. He wanted his cake and eat it too.
Oh, so you
No,
you
but
were
me-
back. You were inventing the mistress,
me-
the side chick
no,
stuff.
No. Me and my wife were separated and we were planning to get a divorce. It was over.
So who brought you on there? Somebody
And
was pissed
she
off.
did.
Your wife, your
She
ex-wife.
called Jenny Joe's show and said, "This is what this dude's doing now."
Okay.
And then
they brought the other chick on there too?
They brought us all on the show.
And so what were you
They brought
doing?
us all on the show.
So was you just like, I'm caught? Like, how did you?
No, it wasn't. I'm caught.
Well, what did you do then?
I was saying I'm a man,
Oh!
and I ain't married,
Oh!
and you know,
Women, I am gasping
This is
for
what I
you.
was
It
saying.
sounds so wild. He's
Yes.
a man. He's not married. And what was
Right.
the other thing you hanging your head
I
on?
don't know. It was a couple things I was saying.
How
at the
did it
time.
end off that show? That's what
I
I
felt
want.
like I walked off the stage like this.
Were they
and half the
cheering you or
people
were they
were
booing?
me.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna ask. Were
There
they
was a
booing
lot of
you?
them booing me. There was a lot
You
of
must
booing
have
me.
got on their nerves on that
yes,
show.
Yes, I would have been. They
You
would've
probably
called me
was all
that.
cocky
They
and
would've
ballsy and shit.
I was in a suit.
Like, so what? I can
listen,
do what I want to do. I'm the man.
I was.
See, they didn't like that.
I was there.
The stalkers would hunt you down and send hate mail to you
No.
now if you pull that.
Wait a minute.
Wait, did
'Cause
somebody
you
say
wasn't-
yes?
Listen, y'all
Oh,
stop.
Stephanie. Stephanie did say
Stephanie,
that.
Stephanie's the one that brought it up.
Good, Stephanie. Thank you for bringing
She
it
just
up.
had the wrong post. She had Maury. Nah.
I was in
Maury's
Maury's audience before. I mean, Maury's audience is pretty good. I mean, I got invited to the show. It was pretty good. We had a good time.
Yeah, I was in Steve Wilco's audience before too.
And how was
But
that?
no. Oh, it was a good show. I liked it.
Yeah.
But no, I was on the stage. I had a whole segment. I had the whole
You must have
segment,
had everybody
and then
agitated.
Then it was a commercial, and then I came back.
Oh.
Yeah, I even got on the other side. You know, they do them in segments, and usually you see somebody for that first 5 or 7 minutes.
And Jenny was
That's
so
it.
nice. So when
She
you were
was.
being a jerk, what was she
I wasn't
saying?
being a jerk. I wasn't being a jerk.
So what was Jenny saying, though?
I think I was telling the truth.
But was she like,
And-
well, why do you want to do this,
Yes,
weak man?
yes.
I mean, don't
and then
you
she was
think you
telling the
owe it
audience,
to
and
her?
some people in the audience was booing and talking crap. But then there was other dudes was like, yeah.
The other scumbags in the audience. Right. You guys rally
Yeah, we had a
together
good
to
time.
ignite
Yeah,
the shenanigans.
But you know what? I have never seen that on live. I've never seen nobody find that and put it online.
Oh, they're going to find it now. Look.
No.
We love
gonna
all
find
of the
it.
women. So, okay, this G. Michael Worthington.
He's a relative of mine.
We love all the women.
Listen,
Just
I
stay with me.
How do you-
We can be a big old family. No. That sounds crazy.
Yo, let me stop. Hold up. Wait a minute. I would delete you, Mike, because you get
Mike
ready to
put
say
it
too
up there.
much.
I mean, he said we can just be
I'm not going to delete
big.
you.
What's that? Big love, brother love, where they have all
Nah,
the
that's
women in there and
Yo, how
he's
do
the
you
one
do
guy.
that when you bring them on? Oh, that's the wrong platform. Well, we was on Instagram. I'd bring you on live, man. I'd talk crap to him.
Well, he just said that he loves all
Yo,
the women. He said he
he's
got
my
a lot of
cousin.
love to give
he's
out.
my cousin. He's had similar issues, so.
Oh, this is why he's cheering you on.
No, he's had similar issues.
This is why he's cheering you
I
on.
think
now.
I still think I'm a good guy, though.
You
But
might be.
I have
To
certain-
some women, I mean, to some you might not be such a good guy, but that's
I gotta
all.
be a
That's
good-
all subjective. So
I
you
gotta
know,
be a good guy.
let's not. You know, it's all subjective. You know, you
Things
say
are-
tomato, I say tomato. I mean, I don't know.
Things were a little bit different back then.
You're
I
slowing
wouldn't
down
go on a
now.
show like that. I wouldn't do that now. Actually, it was ridiculous that I did it then. And who knew that 20 years
Probably be able
ago?
to get away with it a lot easier now.
You know what?
People are so accepting of it now.
You know what the thing was? They were paying.
Paying what?
They paid. And the first time they asked me to come on, I was like, what, huh? What? No. Because
So they paid you to go on Jenny
Yes.
Jones?
And then when they called back, they called my other or whoever, and they was offering all them money.
Oh, to come on.
So then, yeah.
Oh,
so then I
wow.
agreed if they all gave me the money.
Okay,
So
Michael says, tell her about somebody jumping in your pocket from the table in Atlantic City.
That's too much. That's too much.
Tell her about the chips jumping in your pocket. That sounds really
too much, Mike. Too much, Mike. Too much.
Mike,
I'm getting ready to block you.
Don't block Mike.
You got one more little comment.
Don't block Mike. He's bringing a lot of.
He's probably laughing right now.
He is. You
just
should be laughing.
The screen goes black.
He said, "Tell her about that."
No, I'm not telling her about that. I have some embarrassing ones. He knows. Yes. Right now, though, I'm just friendly neighborhood weed man, selling weed like I'm white.
Yeah.
You know.
I like that little slogan.
Yeah, it's my way of protesting. Though. That's all it is. I'm not being racist, people. I know there's some people that he's racist as fuck. Look at what he says all the time.
Well, on my show, we got down to the bottom of what does it mean with selling like a white man, and then you added some clarity to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to just strictly check. Look what's going on all over the country.
Yeah.
Like we got jail cells, and these rich white guys, they're allowed to sell.
Yeah.
You know, and it's happening all over the place. Here in New Jersey today, they're voting Thursday to allow 37 corporations to be licensed to sell weed.
Well, cannabis.
Cannabis, yes. Yes, they're licensing these companies to sell
cannabis. The local drug dealer sells weed or marijuana, but the corporation sells cannabis.
Yes.
It's different.
Yes, so they're actually voting on that on Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Thursday. We'll see how that works out. I don't know. There's enough opposition amongst the Republicans, amongst the Black Caucus, that it might not pass. And if it doesn't pass on Thursday, the state is in a dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't talk about this before, but the state's in a dilemma, y'all. If the Senate and the state assembly don't come together on Thursday and vote yes for this A21, A20, or S21 bill, that's what it's called, the legalization, the Cannabis Regulatory Act is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't vote that in, right after that, they're going on Christmas break.
Right.
It still has to
and
go
then
to
Trump,
the governor.
I don't know if everybody heard, but Trump declared that New Year's Eve is going to be a federal holiday as well. New Year's Day has always been, but New Year's Eve, he signed executive orders that New Year's Eve will be a federal holiday and that you would be able to get paid for it.
Really?
Yes, that happened today. You know, I'm always in the loop. That happened today. So that's one of his parting gifts. So he did do the executive orders for that. So yeah.
Well, here's what happens also in New Jersey. Because of that vote we had a couple weeks ago, last month, the constitutional amendment to legalize marijuana is there.
Mm-hmm.
That question said you put it there and legalization of marijuana starts on the 1st of January.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was supposed to have some enabling legislation to guide how it was doing.
Right.
Well, they can't get the legislation together. So it might.
So
you're
talking about the vote that everybody voted for to make it is still not finished?
No, that's
wow.
There's a whole bunch of it's a long story with that, but yes. But one thing they did do, that vote, it created a constitutional amendment to allow for the legalization of marijuana, blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah.
And that goes into effect on January 1st. The plan was by these politicians was then also to have laws and bills and stuff written to go along with that, and that's what they're having a problem with. So it actually technically is going to be legal, wide open.
Right.
No bill, no nothing. Right? So on the 17th, if they don't vote for it, the politicians are already what's going to happen on the 1st.
Somebody wants to know how much will they tax weed?
You know what?
Is it the regular local tax that you would pay on any food or anything you consume?
Well, part of no.
It's not. It's more.
It's some type of excise tax, but part of what they said in the question was, "We mean I'm too relaxed. I'm smoking weed." Somebody said I'm too relaxed.
Yeah, they did say that.
But part of the question was it was supposed to have capped the taxes at a certain number, right? I think it said 3.6 or something, right? But then, right after a week later, they introduced some bill. 2 weeks later, they introduced some bill that was tax weed. And that's been a.
Well, that would be locally. That's happening though. Yeah. That's your state doing that. That has nothing to do with like.
Well, that's.
Yeah, the federal. Yeah. So that's something that the state decided to tax on to generate.
But I would
more money.
Personally, wouldn't care. I don't care about the taxes. You never hear me arguing about taxes. You know why? I've been to prison for weed. So to me, taxation instead of incarceration. That weed that I got caught with, that I ended up laying in a bunk with 40 other dudes down there farting all night and snoring.
Wow.
It wouldn't have happened if there was a line for me to pay the taxes. Because I would have went and paid the taxes rather than go to prison.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
definitely.
So, you ask me, taxation instead of incarceration. I don't care. You tax it 50%. 50% is better than 50 days in jail.
Absolutely.
And on top of that, I'm just joking about 50% though. But
somebody might say the weed man said 50%. Somebody's gonna hold you to that.
No, but I'm not really worried about taxes. That's not what bothers me about legalization. What bothers me about legalization is the exclusion. That it's only for these guys, and they're making all the bills and laws for these guys.
Yeah.
And everybody else is still illegal. That's what's bothered me. That's what I be saying about, sell weed like I'm white because they're letting all the white guys do it. These rich white guys. Now it offends poor white guys because they think I'm talking about them.
Absolutely. They're like, I got locked up for weed too.
Yeah, I was in jail with guys with weed.
Yeah.
White guys for weed.
You're talking about the corporation guys.
Yeah,
and you're just saying white guys, meaning the corporation,
I'm
technically they're white guys, because we do know there's other races that partake in the corporation piece of it.
Right.
Yeah, you just have to have...
all the CEOs, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that's how... It is my way, I guess, of getting some attention. And yes... is it wrong to play the race card? Listen, here's how I look at this. The race card's been played against me on numerous times in my life. I can point out times when I think that the race issue played a part. First time I got arrested for a felony charge of marijuana, I went to prison.
Yeah.
Right? Look at that statistic when you compare just white guys and black guys. Right? The first time you get a felony arrest, like 90-something% of first timers, black guys, go to prison.
And I think it has to do with the state too. Certain states are definitely more harsher.
But these are just statistics, and I think that's race played a part in it. I was on the losing end of that one. And there's other times I could point out too, right? But this time, right now, with all the systemic racism being talked about, people looking at social justice issues, me bringing up race is, I think, a positive. Or it brings awareness. It brings clarity. You ain't gonna say 20 years from now, well, how did this happen? Well, all these corporations came and it became this big Caucasian cartels and nobody else got a piece of it. Well, if nobody says nothing, then that's what's going to happen. That's what happens all over the country. I just make it a point that I'm from New Jersey and I represent New Jersey.
Right.
New Jersey weed man. I'm a black man. And no, I'm not getting off this campus. I've been selling weed. And this is a multi-billion-dollar business that's being created right now. And I want a piece of it, just like a whole bunch of other people.
You're like, give me mine.
And I felt like I went to prison for this. I've been advocating publicly for this for a long time. But it's not really just about me. It's a whole lot of people just like me, right? We went to prison for weed.
Yeah.
All right, so I feel like my prison time, and I'm going to get quoted on this one in the paper somewhere. I feel like my prison time is my licensing fee. I'm not buying no license to sell weed. I went to prison for weed. If they want to give me a license, they can give me one day. But, no.
They might just give you one to shut you up. Be like, just take the damn license.
But I don't even know if I
would
would take it.
Just get away. Up. Just take the damn license. Be sick of your shit.
If it was for a lot of people just like me, yes.
Yeah.
But not just for me. I wouldn't do a deal just for me. That's called straight selling out.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't do a deal. If all of a sudden the state came to me and said, yo, weed man, shut the fuck up. Here's the license. We don't give a fuck what you sell out of there. Stop talking about all this. Like, just be happy. Go ahead, sell your weed.
You would tell them no?
I would have to if it required me to shut up.
Oh, well, yeah.
I would have to. It'd be a non-starter. But if they said something like, you know what, weed man, you're right. We think that people just like you that became victims of the war on
should have an opportunity.
Should have an opportunity.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this, that, and other, and we're going to let this happen. We're going to drop this. We're going to change this. We're going to do this, and let all you type of guys that's our social justice. That's how we're gonna use social justice.
You would be okay with that?
I'd be okay with that. And like, you know what?
But would
and
it be just widespread, or would it be like?
That.
But I'm just saying, like, would it be like if you got locked up 10 times or so? Like, it couldn't just be all of that. There would have to be some structure.
I think if you caught a felony charge for marijuana, yes, they're already in place. They're trying to expunge.
Well, so you had marijuana, you had coke, you had all this other stuff. And marijuana was just one of them.
No, I'm talking about marijuana though.
But I'm trying to get to the bottom. If these are people that are nuisance people that constantly,
but
like, what are we saying?
Aren't like that. I'm not like that. I got weed charges.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't never raped nobody. I ain't never shot nobody. I ain't never like.
So you're just saying solely if you only have the weed charge, and it was a felony. That's it.
I don't think these weed charges should be used against you. Now that it's becoming legal.
Okay.
And we caught.
Because if you have a charge, you can't get the license.
It's all kinds of hoops and hurdles.
Yeah.
Like they're even saying, "Oh, there's no felony ban." Like they took that out. Right?
Yeah.
But you have to go through this board and get approved if you have these records, and they have to like assess you. Which, I have numerous weed arrests. I have never been sorry about them. I've never been, I've doubled down.
I've never been sorry about them. I'm proud of my weed charges.
Yeah, and so how does somebody that sits on one of these boards look at me like, he's not even like...
He's a menace.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, he just blatantly broke the law. I mean, I engage in civil disobedience all the time. I blatantly broke the law.
Yeah.
So now, like, how does some board gonna treat me? I don't know. I don't even want to go through that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we'll see. I know the state will not just let me sit here and sell weed like a white forever. One day, I'm going to look up, and they're going to be coming through the door. One day, I'm going to be getting in my car going somewhere. All of a sudden, these cops are going to jump out and lock me up for selling weed. I know it's going to happen. And when it happens, I tell my audience right now, I am too relaxed. He said, I'm too relaxed. One day...
they want you to sit up and start acting up. They want you to
One day, I'll have to fight it out in court. And
again.
But I'm prepared for it. I want to be honest with you. I want the podium of it.
Right, the platform to be able to, speak to it.
Like right now, I'm in my, Rosa Parks moment. Rosa Parks refused to get off that bus.
And so you're being defiant,
I'm
purposely.
refusing to get off this Cannabus.
Yeah.
Same way. She refuses to get in the back or get off. And I feel the same way. Why should I sit in the back and watch somebody else do all this? My life got ruined over it, right? Yeah. I'm not getting off it either. I'm not going, all right, well, they made it legal for them guys. All right, I'll walk away. No, I'm not getting off this Cannabus. That's what I'm saying openly. That's why, at some point on my show, I sell you weed. Black and white. You said you don't want to buy no weed.
I don't smoke weed. I have to buy it for stocking stuffers for somebody.
You can get stocking stuffers, or I have edibles. I have candy. I have chocolate. I have gummies.
My goodness, this guy. He's like, you're buying something.
Yes,
we'll have to look at we'll have to look at the catalog once we're done here. Yeah, we'll have to look at the catalog, and then I'll have to take a picture holding up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. You know what? Tell my audience where they can find you. Where they can find your show again. Just say it again.
So on IG, it's _ Let's Talk 13. That's what it is. And that's
_
Yep.
Let's Talk 13.
Yep.
All right, and that's where your shows.
Yeah, and I'm Lady Boss #1, and so like I said, we air every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and I have just a variety of people on the show, and we get a lot going on. So, definitely tune in.
That'll work.
Yeah.
All right, so what we doing? We're getting ready to go buy some edibles? Come on, we gonna buy
there it is.
She's gonna buy some edibles. All right, y'all that are watching on my Facebook here.
I need to see, like, I need a menu. I don't know what, I don't know how to buy edibles.
I'll explain it.
Yeah.
But this camera's way over here, so they don't really get to see.
That's okay. This guy got it hooked up though. This guy I think is gonna keep us going. This guy's on it.
No, we got the other cameras for the YouTube versions and all. All right, y'all seeing the audience in the back?
Yeah, the crew. The crew.
I'm stepping over this. I can do it.
I'm not doing it. I'm gonna tell them. I'm not doing that.
So this is your camera.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta.
It is dead.
Oh, it died?
Oh,
yeah. You know what? Because I never.
Also, you're over an hour by a lot.
Oh, wow. He's letting us know. This guy's keeping us straight. This guy is. Oh, it is dead.
I got you. All right. So here we are over here.
This is too much pressure right now.
No. All my guests. Listen, you know how many of my guests love it? Did they come on, be on my show, and then I sell them some weed?
All right. So now what's going on here? You're gonna show me the
I'm not even
edibles.
gonna show you the weed since you don't smoke.
Yeah, I don't smoke.
So you don't smoke. So here we are.
All right.
I'm gonna show you.
She's got a bucket of it.
Oh, there's a lot of weed around here.
Okay, so what's that?
These here are called Blissful Infusion,
Okay.
and
It's got a magnifying
yeah,
glass.
4
This is
different.
serious stuff.
Yeah, that's for the weed.
Oh my god.
There's 4 different flavors of these little chocolates. I consider them one hitters, but they're they're a little strong. They're strong one hitters.
Okay.
You can just eat one. It's one dose.
Okay. So you're supposed to
And
eat the whole
different
thing though.
I would eat the whole thing, just one.
Okay. And
You
what
only
type
need
of
2.
feeling does it give you?
I mean, it's an edible feeling. It's a body high. It's a laid back, relaxed. Me, it puts me to sleep. But I like.
So what is this
that's why-
called?
They're called Blissful Infusion Chocolates.
Okay, Blissful Infusion Chocolates. Okay.
Right.
Then.
And then we have these Wanda bars, right? They're called Wanda bars now.
Hempy Incredible Edibles.
They used to be Wonka bars.
Okay.
They had to change their name.
Yeah, because it's too
of the
close
old-
to.
the
Yeah.
Wonka,
So it's
right?
Wanda.
Yeah, so these are $40, which is the same price as the eighth. But these last
Okay.
better.
Okay.
These
Same
last
price as the
longer.
eighth. That's
The
weed.
Eighth is 3.5 grams,
Okay.
and it's about 4 joints.
And this.
This is 300 milligrams of chocolate. It comes in 21 different pieces because it's scored like a Hershey
So you
bar.
eat a piece though.
Yes. You
Okay.
eat 1, maybe 2.
Okay.
And that should be good enough. To me, this lasts several days.
Okay. So what's the difference between this and this though?
This is a lot stronger. That I know is made out of butter. This is made out of distillate wax. That is this concentrated form of marijuana. This is made out of.
Okay.
And they come in different flavors.
That's what I was gonna say. So what are all the colors? Tell me about all the colors here.
Each color. Look at it. I'm giving
Yeah, this is a real lesson here, right? Okay, so.
Well, these the color. This is blue. It's peanut butter M&M.
Okay.
Okay. This one is purple looking Butterfinger. Those are flavors right there.
Okay.
M&M.
And then the green, right? Hey, correct.
It's
Well,
mint. It's
well, you
mint,
got a
though.
purple too. What's
It's
the
mint.
purple? The purple, yeah. What's that one?
That's the Butterfinger.
That's the Butterfinger.
Yeah, those are Butterfinger. And then there's a Snicker bar.
Okay.
Yo, want to hear something funny? Heath bar.
I like Heat Bar.
You know what I was getting ready to say?
What?
Only old people buy these.
This guy shakes it. But I like toffee though.
Only old people buy it. Listen,
So you got the old people coming here buying those.
I do have older
Oh
people.
my God.
I think young people
I
don't
need
even
to
know
put a
what a
cataract in my eye or something.
young
to
people
say.
don't even know what a Heath bar is. Something. They're
Okay.
Like, what's a Heath?
So wait a
You know?
minute. What
Where-
else has
where
Heath in it though?
There used to be Heath bars when we were kids. They're still around, but you're right. I mean,
But it's toffee
You
though.
barely
Like
ever
it's a
see
toffee.
them.
Yeah.
so I don't know what it is. I think people in their 50s buy these. And
Not in
that's
my
my
50s.
experience. And you're not in your 50s yet. That's what I was getting ready to say.
went
You're like,
there.
but you went
But
there.
I
with
like
this-
toffee though.
All right, I'm not being funny. That's my experience.
All right.
Selling
let
these
me
bars,
pick something
only
now.
older people buy Heath bars.
Okay.
I don't know why. Now watch all these people come in the next.
And
day
they'll
saying,
buy Heath bars.
"You buy Heath." I want a Heath bar. I want to know what
Exactly.
old people got on.
Exactly. Oh, that's the one thing about age. It comes wisdom. So maybe the old people are onto something.
Yes. No, but I think it's when we were kids. There were Heath bars, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Different brands of Heath bars.
Score. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Score
yeah,
has
Score
Heath
has-
bars.
yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
he
But there used to be a bunch of those brands. Now there's like 1 or 2 out there. I barely ever see them. You walk in a candy store, you'll never see a Heath bar. It might be way over there in the corner.
Okay.
The old people section.
All right. So.
That was a joke. You're supposed to laugh at that one.
Went straight over my head.
All right, so I'm showing you that.
Okay, so we got that, and then what else?
We're not done. We're not done.
This guy has a whole refrigerator full of edibles. So I have to keep this
These-
refrigerated. So
these
that's the
are-
thing. So do
no.
your people? Do you have to keep it refrigerated?
It's just like a candy bar.
So you can leave it out.
You can leave
be
it out.
Okay, but
I
you keep it
in here.
refrigerated.
Yes, I want to keep it nice, fresh, cold, all that stuff. So
Okay.
they don't get melty, you don't salt, nobody's going to touch it and squeeze it or nothing like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Right? So So again, these are just mini Wonkas. These are just smaller versions of that.
Okay. And how much do they go for?
20.
Okay.
And those are 40.
Got it.
And the 4 for 20s up there.
Okay.
So we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to all
right.
this. All
There's
right.
got an array of stuff going on here.
Man.
And what are
There's
these?
10 pieces in there
of
caramels.
Okay. I like
It's
caramel.
rated at 500 milligrams. So that means
What does
each
that even
piece
mean?
is 50 milligrams. That's the strength.
Okay.
And if you read up on it, most of the time they say the average dose is like 25 or less.
Okay.
So these, just one of them is very strong. It's a more
So
than a
comparing
dose.
it to the bars,
Comparing it to
the bars
little
on the
ones,
middle.
say, the little ones.
Okay, the
say,
little ones.
These aren't quite as strong as those
Okay.
per one.
Per one.
But there's 10 of them in there. So this is
Got
a very
it.
good deal, I think.
And how much are these?
$50.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
The bar is $300. Like I said, it comes in like 21 different pieces.
The bar is what?
It's $40, but it comes in 21 different pieces, so you
Got
kind of break it up smaller and eat little.
Right, and you
pieces.
just keep it regular, and you can continue
Yeah,
to just
and you
chip
can
off
just
of it
keep
and
it
eat
for
it.
a few
Okay.
days.
This is a lot to choose from, you know?
man.
Look, they're shaking it like, this is a lot.
Boom.
And what's that?
Butter.
Oh, wow.
Can of butter. And this can of butter, you can do all kinds of things with this.
I know.
You can put it on your bread.
Yes.
Eat toast in the morning.
Put it
You
in
can
your
put it-
food, anything you put butter in.
Listen, remember what's his name, Dr. Seuss?
Yes.
Green eggs in ham.
Yes.
You know Dr. Seuss was a pothead. And
No.
This is how he made his eggs green. He put can
You
of
just
butter in his
ruined it
eggs.
for all these kids now.
Well, kids ain't supposed to be watching my show. So,
This is not a kid-friendly show.
all right,
Do
thank
not
you.
watch it.
No, I'm
Okay.
just joking about that. I don't know about that. I just threw that in there. But you can make your eggs green.
So it's
you can
butter.
Put this in, yes, it's butter.
And how much is that?
Listen, you know what else you can do with this? You can put this in like your barbecue sauce and have like
Get
high
everybody
chicken.
high.
Get high
Oh
chicken.
my God.
Like, come on over. Let's
Sneak
have
it in
get
there,
high chicken.
cook it up, and they're like, "What? This chicken made me feel a little different." And
Yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
"Yeah." Okay, so how much
but
is
this
that?
This is good. This is $45.
That's $45. See, all your
Right.
prices are pretty reasonable
Right.
here for these edibles.
Mhm.
All right, so
And
got
you
this.
can make like whole trays of cookies out of this. You can make a
Oh, wow.
pan of brownie mix. Like this is a good
Yes,
thing.
brownies, totally.
This could be a chip dip.
Oh God.
Where you're sitting back chilling.
I'm
You
thinking
know?
about it. Could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
totally.
Yeah. Now I have a whole assortment. I have a whole assortment of these brownies too.
Oh, so you do make brownies?
No, actually I don't. I sell them. There's somebody who makes those and I sell them.
Okay, and this has the butter and everything in it.
That actually is made with wax also, made with distillate. This is they're very strong.
You said they're very strong.
That's all I can say.
He said they're very strong. So okay, so how much of this should you
this
eat?
Here on the back, it says
100 milligrams,
yes.
and this is only 50, right?
No, it's 500.
500, but each piece.
piece is 50. So
This
this,
is a lot.
so
I
this
don't know how I'm
right
gonna
here
remember all of
is
this.
more than you should eat at one time. And it's
So you
so
should
small.
not eat the
You
whole
should not
thing.
eat
So
the
somebody
whole
shouldn't
thing.
just eat the whole
No,
one.
you should just eat a piece of this, like 25% of
This
it,
is a lot.
not quite a half. You can eat half if you want, but somewhere around half, 25% to half. That's all you should eat.
Okay. All right.
So,
All right. So I think I'm gonna go with these.
there you go. That's what you want. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to comp you.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to comp you.
Okay, so he's comping now.
I'm gonna comp you. Yes. That's another thing I learned when I worked in Atlantic City, Trump Plaza.
Shout out to the Trump Plaza for giving this guy a job.
Listen.
This renegade rebel a job.
But again, going back to that story, for 2 years I worked there. So I seen Donald Trump dozens and dozens of times. I poured him water a bunch of times too. I used to eavesdrop on his conversations, but I always thought he was a fool. I always
thought he was a fool.
I did. He was a rich kid at the time. His dad was alive. So he was running with his dad's whole thing. Yeah, y'all know I got this show going on. Y'all just standing all up in the show.
It's just in the mix.
Yeah.
He said he
Look,
wants
look,
something out
look.
of there.
Go ahead, man.
Just have at it. This is a business, you know.
Yes, it is. I'm trying to do this podcast right smack dab in the middle of my business.
And
right
he's
here.
like, I'm working.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Look,
Okay.
Look on video, guys. Delivering weed.
They shaking. People behind it just shaking their head like I'm not being a part of this.
I wonder how many people noticed what was going on.
if they're paying attention, I'm sure they're noticing. Look. I'm sitting here looking like, don't look at it, don't look at it, just don't even look at it, don't look.
All right, so since I'm comping you,
This guy.
we didn't even talk about this. You like
What
peanut
is
butter?
that? I do like peanut butter.
All right, well,
Reese's Cups is one of my favorite candies.
Oh, this is a peanut butter cup.
Ah.
This is another one. You should not eat this whole thing.
You giving me rules. This should not be eaten.
You should eat
The whole thing? This should not be eaten with the whole thing?
No, and these are pieces.
So you eat a piece.
You can eat the whole thing on that, but it'd be very strong. So if you want to...
As somebody that's not a weed smoker or an indulger, I need to go baby steps. Because I can always eat a little piece and go more. But once I've consumed the entire piece, it's a bad deal.
Yes. And...
I'm going to have to let some of my friends try this stuff, too.
Wait a minute. It's Christmas time.
Oh, wow. I like gifts, too. I do like gifts. This guy's hooking me up. He's giving me all types of gifts. I like gifts.
Look.
The weed socks. I'm going to take a picture of
these
those.
are Christmas socks.
Yeah, I'm going to take a picture of them for you. And I'm going to post it to the page. Watch.
Look. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm making stocking stuffers.
Ah!
Bam! Here we go.
Hang this on the mantle.
Here we go.
I'm gonna let my parents try it. My dad just retired. He can smoke weed now. You don't have to worry about drug tests. So I'm gonna let my dad try it. Everybody try it.
When your people see this, they're gonna be like, "Yo, so when you gonna?"
I'll be like, "Well, wait a minute."
I don't know. Will this fit in there?
I don't know. Don't stretch my sock out.
All right.
Yeah, you're gonna stretch my sock
I
out.
won't stretch your sock.
I'm gonna put them on.
We'll put the other one on top.
Yeah.
There you go.
See, and he has this guy.
The little hanger, everything.
The clip.
Yes, and there you go. There you hang that on your Christmas tree.
On the mantle.
Yes. Yes, hang that just like that. Off your
Yes,
Christmas tree.
that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Like, Weed Man gave me this.
I'm gonna say a gift from the weed man. He took care of your girl, Lady Boss #1. Made sure she was okay when she came in here.
There you go.
You took care of me.
Boom.
Now, anybody,
next time you talking on your show, you have to say, "Yo, I got the greatest gift for weed."
Exactly. And then I'm gonna tell my folks that when they come up here and holler at you, make sure they say Lady Boss #1 sent them to you.
Oh yes,
absolutely.
Yes,
Just make sure that they say that I sent them to you.
All right, so you make sure that you be able to tell them. Now you're not gonna get no weed, but look.
No, I don't smoke weed.
Look, there's 10 different flavors down
It's
here.
just all these big jars and stuff.
So you make sure you tell your audience, like, yo.
Yeah, this is the guy.
Check out.
When you're in
Citizens Dispensary. That's what I'm calling this.
Citizen
Dispensary. We have all these corporate things getting ready to start.
Okay.
I'm seizing the moment. I'm calling this a Citizen Dispensary.
Citizen Dispensary.
Run by a citizen.
But the
Not
quality.
a corporation.
It's ran by a citizen, but the quality is definitely what they want.
I think I'm comparable. It's black market stuff, so there's black market limitations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I think it's more products available.
Yeah.
I think it's a wide-ranging products. I mean, this isn't even everything.
Right, because you tailor for everybody. You
Yeah.
tailor for everybody and what everybody wants. So that's a good thing, too.
So we'll see.
For the non-weed smokers like me, you can still indulge because it does have edibles.
These corporate models. these corporate businesses they want. They're like cookie-cutter doctor's offices that give you a bag of weed and you can't touch it, smoke it, and this, that, and the other. Here, you can get your munchie on.
That's right, because this is a restaurant too, so they can go and buy food, consume the marijuana, consume the food.
They can hang out back.
Hang out out back. So it's an environment you have here. It's a total
8 ounces and chicken wings.
8 ounces and chicken wings.
8 ounces. So when you tell your people, like, yo, just go on up to Trenton, man.
You can get whatever you want.
8 ounces of chicken wings.
Okay.
You're going to have people telling stories like how I tell you a story going down to Baltimore. I go to that captain.
They'll be telling stories about coming to your establishment.
Man, I went up to Trenton, New Jersey, and I went to Weedman's joint. I got some Get High chicken wings.
Oh, so the chicken wings are Get High chicken wings.
On Saturday, you can do that.
Oh,
on Saturdays,
wow.
we do that.
Saturday. So from what time to what time?
All day, anytime. You come in on Saturday, you can get some infused food.
Oh, wow.
You have to ask for it. We're not giving nobody no infused food.
So you have to ask for that specifically.
You have to ask for it. And basically what it is, we use the butter and cook whatever you want to order.
Oh, wow.
So you can order anything. You want to get high chicken, you can get some Get High chicken. People be asking for the Weed Man sauce.
That is the Weed Man sauce. Got it. Learning stuff here. All right.
Yes.
Well, there it is.
All right. So
I got my stocking stuffer. I got my gifts.
Yep.
And I'll
Anything
definitely
you want to say again? Shout out to my audience.
Shout out to you guys, and thank you for allowing me to be here. I'm definitely gonna do some reviews on this stuff. You know, and I have people on my show, especially people that cook stuff and have stuff, I always come back and say this is what the product is about. So definitely stay tuned. So again, go to my page _Let's Talk 13 on Instagram, and you will see me shouting out the Weed Man and talking about his products. But definitely come down to Jersey and holler at my boy.
Thank you. All right. We out.
We out. This guy was like reading like, I'm trying to come in. They doing all of this stuff.
Jersey Weed Man, superhero to his ganja smokers, fighting for the rights of cipher and totem, indicted and choked him every time he battled and spoke him. Politicians getting at him with them government posters. Judges with jokers, knew the laws, refused to uphold them. Only made the Weed Man stronger. He grew with exposure, refusing these votes. Every time he pleaded, proposing. Mary Jane, she ain't bad, she just a league with a smoker. Rasta religion, roots come from Buffalo soldiers. Now they want to jail the Weed Man cause he practices soldier, taking advantages over. Watch how rapid he blow up. When this thing hit the radio, we gon' smash the box office. They gon' learn how the court system badging their fortune. They took his license and his truck. It cost him a fortune. Stand up for your right. Up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's the new.
We got blunts, got lots of chicken, got mac and cheese, 8 ounces in the kitchen. You try smoke, I'm down. You try eat. Hell now let me show everybody now where we be. Yo, where you be at? We at the joint, what? The Weed Man's joint. Who? If your mama stole your stash, come along. Stop playing. Got what you want, got what you need. That's right. Shake your wings to fry the world of weed. Yo, where is this place? 322 East State Street, Trenton, New Jersey. Come smoke and eat with us.